sell us it with a
Okay.
some epic plant hunting story.
I like you set that up beautifully. Thank you. Entry: Blue Lake, 22nd of August, 1852. Leaving the Umpqua River behind, and after climbing past a series of tumbling waterfalls, I continued my ascent, seeking a ridge to gain a vantage point. Eventually, I found myself looking across a most extraordinary lake, high up in the mountains. Its altitude is the least intriguing of its many features. The lake sits in a giant crater, its rim reaching at least 7,000 feet in altitude, being broadly circular and about 5 miles across. There seem to be no rivers flowing from it in any direction. The water is the deepest blue I have cast my eyes upon. For the last 2 days I've explored its shore. It is a magical place where it seems the sky has come to earth, the clouds scudding across its glass-like surface. There is a small island to the west, connected to the shore with a chain of smaller islands. Today I swam between these, through a sea of giant yellow water lilies, to reach the cone-shaped island, for no purpose other than to satisfy my curiosity. From its shores I saw what appeared at first glance to be a man standing upon the water. It moved slightly, to and fro, and over the space of an hour I observed it to drift a little. I supposed it to be a floating log, which, for a reason I cannot fathom, hung vertically in the water, its visible part standing about 6 feet tall. That only added to the mystery of this place. And the next journal entry is about a week later, 1st of September 1852, Wokus. The same great yellow water lily which I first saw at Blue Lake occurs in great numbers in the marshes here on the northern shores of Klamath Lake. Its flowers measure up to 4 inches across. Its leaves are leathery and arrow-shaped. Large numbers of Indians from the Klamath tribe are harvesting its seeds, filling their boats with great quantities of the pods. They are mostly older women, but there are some younger women and children who work on shore preparing them. My arrival was met more with surprise than suspicion, even though I'm probably the first white man these people have ever seen, and especially one alone as I am. Mr. Peter Ogden is the only man, at least that I know of, who has travelled extensively in this region. I thought I might quietly observe them at work from further along the shore, but my presence was noted immediately. A great shout went out from one, soon to be repeated by others. 2 of the female elders approached me in a calm manner and attempted to converse with me. When it was apparent that this was impossible, they beckoned me with smiles towards the remainder of the group. We sat together round a fire, and they shared with me a flat bread and some acid-tasting yellow currants they called chomchak. I was also given a healthy portion of a starchy mash, which they call epos, and my countrymen had nicknamed the squaw potato. It is made from the root of umbelliferae of some type and has a pleasant nutty taste. I believe we stared at each other in equal measure. They wanted to see the contents of my sack, and when I revealed my journal, they immediately became excited by my writing marks and the various botanical sketches, pointing to each in turn, evidently identifying some with their own names and smiling at one another. I showed them my last entry, the scene of Blue Lake, whereupon a sudden quiet rippled through the onlookers, only for it to be replaced a few seconds later by animated conversation. Voices were raised behind me, and before long a quarrel surrounded me on all sides. One of the men in particular, his face rich with tattoos, seemed gripped by a fearsome mood, first pointing to me, then to the hills and back again, and finally shoving me hard on the chest, whereupon I fell to the ground. Before I could protest, my journal was snatched from me, and strong hands prevented me from rising again. I recognised one word repeated time and again in the heated discussion. Jiwas.
Stop there. The cliffhanger. Well, I'd like to continue if